So one area of the web that's completely dominated by Flash is delivering video on the web. Now, for many reasons, which I'll explain later in the chapter, that is still the case today. But in HTML5, we can now actually do simple audio and video playback directly in the browser without having to use a plugin. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do here. So HTML5 contains a new tag called video. So I'm going to come down in my body. I'm just going to create a new video tag. So in the exercise files, I have a couple of videos that I've actually copied to the desktop. And it is that video.mp4 and the video.ogv. And I'll explain what that is in a second. But to play this video back, all I have to do in this tag is to give it a source attribute. And I'm going to play that MP4. So I'm going to say video.mp4. Now I can play this automatically when we come into a page. I obviously have to be very careful with doing that or you're going to annoy people. But if we just put in the autoplay attribute here, this will automatically start playing that video back. And now I can just go ahead and close this video tag. Much like with Canvas, if video is not supported via HTML5, I can either put a fallback inside of the video tag. I'm just going to put here video not supported. So I'm going to go over to Chrome and refresh. And this is a video I shot in Japan. But you can see now it's in the page and it's automatically playing back. So now I can actually give this video a width and height in the tag. But let's say I wanted to maintain the aspect ratio. Well, I can actually just give it a width. And let's say I want to give it a width of 400. And now I can go ahead and launch that again. And we can see that the video is now playing, but that aspect ratio is actually being respected here. So now you'll notice that that video didn't have any controls on it. So there was no way to actually control it, to pause it, to adjust the seek position. And to do that, all we need to do is to put in the controls keyword here. Now you'll notice that I'm not actually putting any values on these attributes. You can do that, but it's actually not necessary. So I could say controls is equal to a string of controls. And I could do the same thing for autoplay. But it's actually not necessary, and it's a lot more readable just to put in controls here. So let's launch that again. And now you can see the video is playing. I have some nice playback controls associated with it, and I can turn off that volume. And you can see that these are playback controls that are specific to Google Chrome. They're the native playback controls in Chrome. So these are going to look differently depending on which browser you're using. But you can see they look nice and they actually function really well. So we have seek functionality and all of these things. So if you just need to embed a video, let's say in your blog or in a website, and you just need simple video playback, HTML5 is a really nice solution to do that because, again, you don't have to go and use a plugin. Where the problem comes in is with video codecs. So all the major browsers, much like they do for a lot of things, are bickering over which is the correct codec to support. And because of that, the support is not consistent. So for instance, H.264 is supported by Internet Explorer, and that's the only codec that they support. It's also supported in Google Chrome, but they're actually planning to deprecate that. In Mozilla, they don't support H.264, so you need to use an Ogg-Theora video file. So what essentially all this boils down to is you need to have multiple versions of your video file if you want to reach all the different browsers. And currently, the two that you need to have to reach everywhere is an H.264, which is an MP4 file, which is what I'm playing right here, and an Ogg-Theora video file. So how do you get that OGG file? Well, that's that OGV file that I've also included for you in the exercise files. Now, how I created that is there's a nice online service at online-convert.com, which will actually allow you to upload a video file in any format, and it'll actually convert to OGG for you and allow you to download that. Now, you can also do this in programs like Premiere or other video editors, but if you just want to do a quick conversion, This is a nice way to do it online so that you don't have to have any specific software on your system. So now that I have those two separate video files, I need to actually put it in here. Now you'll notice that I put a source attribute right in the tag. So we need to actually remove that. And what I need to do is to give a source tag inside of here. So I'm going to say source and then give an src. And we're going to put the H.264 first. So I'm going to say video.mp4. Now the type here is not required in some browsers. I'm going to put it in anyway. This is the MIME type. So it's video/mp4 and close that. And now I'm going to put in a second source tag, and this one for the OGG Theora file, which is the OGV, and this is video OGG. So what this is going to do now, it's actually going to go through these source elements. It's going to try the H.264. If that's not supported, it will go to the OGG. If the video is not supported, then you'll actually see this text. So let's go back to Chrome and we'll refresh this. And you can see that this is working the way it should. Again, because it's using the H.264, but if we went into Firefox, it would also work because we have that OGG Theora file. So that's the basics of doing simple HTML5 video. And again, I want to stress that that is what HTML5 video is currently good for. So if you need to have a video that, let's say, plays on the iPad in the browser, well, Flash is not supported there. So you're going to need to use HTML5 video. But again, be aware that the whole situation with codecs is currently in flux. So you're going to want to keep track of which browsers are supporting which codecs. And again, make sure you provide those correct files to be able to reach all of the browsers that are out there.